nervous, actually, about starting this. Partially because for the past month or so, it's been very hard for me to speak to people without weeping. Alors je pleure tout le temps. Et c'est vraiment difficile de l'exprimer sans énormément de larmes. Alors je suis un peu nerveuse de commencer cet après-midi. Mais aussi, c'est parce que je réfléchis beaucoup. Dernièrement, ça va faire 32 ans, 33 ans, pour dire la vérité, que j'ai fait mon tout premier cours à Montréal. Et c'était juste en haut de la rue. C'était dans un appartement de la mère d'une amie. On était une vingtaine dans un cercle. Et je venais d'arriver ici, au Québec. And my intention at that point was to teach self-health care. Je voulais vraiment aider les gens à prendre la responsabilité pour leur propre corps et leur propre vie. Et c'était un cours de A à Z, toutes les maladies que je pourrais penser et toutes les différentes façons de les soigner. De la nutrition à l'exercice, les exercices de respiration, le yoga, le massage. So I made a handbook, and it was something very new at the time, you know. And what's interesting is that almost everybody in that circle of 20-ish people is now practicing in alternative medicine. So I feel that I'm starting somehow another cycle. It's like je revise tout ce que j'ai déjà enseigné et où j'en suis maintenant. Et je me rends compte que ma perception de l'être humain est beaucoup, beaucoup approfondie depuis 33 ans. Heureusement. So, where previously what I really wanted to help people to do was heal the symptoms that arose in their physical bodies. Now, my work is much more about helping people rejoice in all aspects of their physical bodies. The point... Oh. The point for me of teaching now is and the reason that I feel that it's important to transmit this information now is that I believe that the step missing for humanity in this process of evolution and ascension that the planet is going through, the part that's missing is the body, is an understanding and honoring of the body. And the understanding that's come to me is it's so simple and yet so misunderstood. Nos corps nous font peur. Hein? Quand il y a un symptôme qui monte, nous avons les mêmes réactions que s'il y a quelque chose qui ne marche pas dans l'auto. Hein? Nous l'amenons tout de suite chez un garagiste dans un manteau blanc pour le faire réparer. Ça nous fait peur. And in this way, this fear that we have of the body symptoms, in some ways, I feel like I'm coming right back to 33 years ago when I started teaching. Whereas then, the idea was to help people get rid of symptoms in all the different ways that weren't medical. Now, my focus is really helping people to understand that symptoms are a sign of progress. Quand le corps agit, quand il y a des réactions dans le corps et dans les émotions, dans la vie que nous avons appelée autour de nous, ça veut dire que nous sommes prêts à comprendre quelque chose d'autre. Whenever a symptom arises in your body, in your emotions, in your life, anything that tweaks you, anything that gets to you, whether it's with joy or fear or anger, anything that creates a reaction in you is an indication that you're ready to move on to another level of understanding of your being and your purpose and who you are. Since 33 years ago, I've personally experienced a lot physically, and I guess that's part of what has informed and inspired me to want to share this with other people. None of what I teach is what I haven't experienced myself. I think that, in a sense, when I was younger, I was like a midwife assisting at a birth who's never given birth herself. You can do it. You can do it, and it brings you to another place of understanding. But there's a deeper level of accompagnement, a deeper level of presence when you can share something that you've experienced. So, all life moves in circles. This is something that we all know, and we forget to apply. Each time that we find ourselves in depression, in désespoir, desperation, and hopelessness, each time we have physical symptoms arising in our bodies, it's really not our first reaction to say, yay! Right? And it's not our first reaction to think that we're going to get out of it. You know, very often people will say to me, this is happening again, and I'm afraid it's never going to be different. What's important is that every symptom that comes up in our bodies, in our lives, in our emotions, every symptom that comes up is something that's acting to connect us with something that's already happened in our lives. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. No? Tout ce qui nous arrive, tout ce qui fait mal, tout ce qui est joyeux aussi, tous les symptômes. Et quand je dis symptômes, je comprenez que je ne veux pas juste dire des choses physiques, mais chaque réaction que nous pouvons avoir qui nous affecte est une façon de contacter quelque chose qui est déjà arrivé. Ça, c'est très important. Si c'était pas quelque chose qui est déjà arrivé, qui était déjà arrivé, il n'y aurait pas de réaction. Voyez? If it weren't something that has happened before in your life, as a theme in your life, you wouldn't be reacting to it. Okay? So, tout ce qui nous dérange, qui arrive dans la vie, peut agir comme une ligne de pêche qui descend dans notre passé et qui touche à des couches de plus en plus profondes de notre passé. Alors, il y a quelque chose qui nous dérange, qui arrive, et si nous prenons le temps de nous asseoir et de ressentir dans le corps qu'est-ce que ça fait, et où et quand nous l'avons déjà ressenti, nous allons de plus en plus profondément à différentes couches de compréhension de ce qui nous dérange, jusqu'à ce que nous arrivons au fond où il y a souvent des baleines. Les poissons deviennent de plus en plus grands en descendant. So, anything that bugs us, we can use as a way of understanding our lives. Anything that creates friction in the present, if we can have the discipline and remember to sit still and to use that sensation of dissonance and of friction to go inside ourselves and remember from our past where we felt this, when we felt this before. As we're more and more able we go to deeper and deeper levels of our pasts, and as we descend into the depths of this life, the fish get bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's a big blue whale at the bottom. Anything that affects us now has its roots, has existed in a spiral fashion in our lives. And I won't even talk about the lives before that. Hein? Et ça, c'est important de dire que je crois que tout ce que nous avons à travailler existe dans cette vie-ci. Oui, je crois aussi qu'il y a des résonances avec autre vie. Hein? Mais nous avons tout le matériel nécessaire dans cette vie-ci pour travailler et pour le transformer et pour faire tout le travail qu'il faut faire. C'est intriguant et intéressant et peut-être un divertissement. Hein? Ça peut nous distraire un peu quand nous voulons aller fouiller dans les vies antérieures. J'ai vu beaucoup de personnes qui se sont perdues un peu dans oh, j'étais ci et j'étais ça et c'est pour ça que je fais hein? J'ai des relations que j'ai, mais au fond nous n'avons pas besoin d'aller dans d'autres vies. Vraiment, nous avons tout ce qu'il nous faut dans cette vie-ci. Amplement à travailler dans cette vie-ci. So what I was saying was that I believe that in this lifetime we really have all the information that we need to be able to transform ourselves. And so that, yes, we can go deeper and deeper into our pasts and go into other lifetime memories. But I've seen a lot of people get distracted and fascinated by who they used to be. Oh, I was this or that or the other thing, and that's why I'm relating this way or whatever. But I don't believe that we need to go into our past lives. I think that we've got plenty of raw material in this lifetime to be able to transform ourselves. And not only that, we have we are in some ways the end point of the evolution of all of the different lineages that have conspired to make our lives and bodies. Huh? And so we are a very special recipe of all of the lives and bodies that have come before us. And we take this particular recipe, and from it, we create the lives that we're now living.
Her eyes are wide open.
I know, she sleeps with her eyes open. Dear Maggie May. So this lecture is done in French, English, and dog. So we come into this life as the union of two stories. Okay? Nos vies sont la danse entre deux histoires. Okay? Il y a l'histoire du corps et l'histoire de l'âme. L'histoire du corps, c'est toute l'histoire de nos ancêtres. Oui? Tout, comme je viens de dire, tous les vies et les corps qui se sont tissés ensemble pour créer le corps dans lequel nous sommes incarnés. Et dans chaque cellule, dans l'ADN, dans le corps, nous avons tout ça inscrit. Nous avons aussi, dans une place très spéciale dans le cœur de chacun de nous, nous avons l'histoire de toutes les vies que nous avons déjà vécues. Hein? Ça, c'est l'histoire de l'âme. Et les vies que nous vivons sont vraiment la danse entre ces deux histoires. Je crois que nous sommes incarnés, nous choisissons même d'être incarnés dans une lignée, un étang génétique, un marais génétique, pour être capable de prendre cette histoire et de l'amener vers quelque chose d'autre. So, we are created, the lives and bodies that we're living have been created from two stories. The story of our body and the story of our souls. The history of the body is the history of our ancestors. And all of the lives and bodies, as I just said, that have culminated in this. And we arrive in a genetic pool or a genetic swamp, if you want to look at it that way. Our souls come into this body that's been prepared for us by our ancestors. And I believe that we come into specific bodies so that we can take this story that's been created for us and write the next chapter. And so each one of our lives is the dance between these two stories of the soul and the body. The history of the body can be found in the DNA. In every cell of our beings, we've got the whole story of every body that has created this body. It's all scribbled in tiny, tiny, tiny little red letters in the center of every one of your cells. You've got their whole story. And we also have, in a very special place in the heart of each one of us, the story of the soul and all of the different lives that we've led. And the lives that we create, and that we create in a spiral, redoing the same things over and over and over again. We create these lives out of these two stories, dancing together. So far, it's been a struggle over who's going to lead, whether it's the soul or the body that's leading this dance. They've not been equal partners. No? soit c'est le corps qui a mené les besoins du corps, les besoins physiques du corps ont mené pour la plupart de notre histoire sur cette planète. Hein? C'était l'histoire de survie. Et l'âme a suivi. Pour certaines, ils ont décidé que ça allait être l'âme. Mais étant tellement pris dans la dualité, si nous avons choisi dans d'autres vies de laisser l'âme diriger la danse, c'était le corps qui a été limité, qui a été flagellé, purifié, puni, n'est-ce pas? Hein? So, it's so far in our stories as humans, it's been a struggle for who's going to lead in this dance, if it's going to be the body or the soul. And for the most part, in the story of humanity, it's been the body that's been leading. It's been survival and the needs of physical existence that have led this dance. And those of us who have chosen to let spirit lead, because humanity has been so caught in duality, in either or, those who have chosen to let spirit lead, or the soul lead, did so by limiting and constricting and punishing the body, purifying, demeaning, ignoring, flagellating, purging in all ways. So either way, whether we chose to honor the body or to honor the spirit, or to live within one or other of those realities, when we're in one side, the other one is just following along. And it's not been a harmonious experience by any means. Many of the people who are talking these days about ascension and about the planet moving into a new reality, they're doing so from a place of beam me up, Scotty, get me out of here, I can't stand it here anymore. Right? Get me out of here, this world is a mess. Huh? And so that kind of belief, which we find really a lot, n'est-ce pas? Hein? On trouve vraiment beaucoup de personnes qui parlent de l'ascension et de la nouvelle réalité de la planète, mais ils font ça comme en horreur de tout ce qui est la réalité physique de la planète. Hein? C'est pourri ici. Enlève-moi des sept. Il doit avoir quelque chose, ça c'est très catholique, hein? Il doit avoir quelque chose de mieux à l'autre côté. It's an extremely Catholic way of looking at things. This is so awful down here. Just get me out of here. It's got to be better somewhere else. Et c'est ça que je veux vraiment soulager avec ce que je veux enseigner. Cette idée que ici c'est horrible et allons laisser cette planète pourrir, allons sur des vaisseaux spatials, nous allons être sauvés par qui c'est qui. On peut appeler ça Dieu ou on peut appeler ça des extraterrestres ou des anges, comme on veut. Hein? Mais je crois que l'ascension est absolument identique à l'incarnation. So I believe that our ascension is no different from incarnation. Je crois que nous avons tellement appris que être ici, dans un corps, sur cette planète, est pénible. Que c'est ça que nous avons créé. We've believed so strongly that being here on earth in a body equals suffering. That it's a horrible, awful place to be. That this is what we've created. And as we birth a new reality to this planet, it's actually a misnomer to call it ascension, because it's actually, in my belief, the full incarnation, the full descending of spirit into every little bit of our bodies. So we come into this genetic pool. And we are like any other animal. We learn right away who we are supposed to be. We learn right away how to repeat, how to be like mommy and daddy, right? In case one of our parents dies, right? Just like monkeys and cockroaches and parrots, we learn how to be like mommy or daddy. And then we repeat that over and over and over until one day we say, when we've created this life and when we've thought that we've been independent and freely choosing how we live our lives, one day we stop and we look back and we think, oh my God, how did I become my mother? How did I become my father? How did that happen? And when we do that, we see these amazing spirals that we've created. Right? And this is when the beginning of freedom happens. This is when we can start becoming free. I'm trying to set some basic ideas as a foundation, and on that foundation, I want to teach more specifics, but I need to go through the foundation first. And you might not agree with everything that I'm laying down as a foundation, but please bear with me, even if you don't. So we can look at the physical aspect of our existence. The fact that we're in bodies and we need to survive. We need our bodies to survive. Okay? We can look at this reality as the reality of the tribe. A very long time ago, we understood that we could not survive alone. Il y a très 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 longtemps, au début de notre histoire, dans des corps humains, nous avons appris que c'était impossible de survivre seul. We need other people for our survival, for our physical survival. And so we created clans, not just families, but clans and tribes. And the tribe and the clan had its own identity. And the survival of that clan and tribe became essential to our own survival. And so the individual within the reality of the tribe or the clan, the individual is not so important. Everything that we do in our lives is done within this reality, is done so that the tribe can survive. And in the survival of the tribe, the individual will then survive. Okay? Alors, l'individu, dans cette réalité de tribu, ne compte pas beaucoup. Ce qui est important, c'est ce que l'individu peut apporter aux tribus, au clan. C'est la survie du clan et du tribu qui prend le plus d'importance. Parce que sans le tribu, l'individu n'existe pas non plus. Alors, l'identité primaire était l'identité de tribu. Et le tribu était obligé d'être identifié d'autres clans et tribus autour. All of the cultural and traditional rules that we've learned are a way of creating a solid identity of a group that we belong to. An identifying group. Anciennement, même les noms de famille indiquaient qu'est-ce que cette famille faisait pour aider le clan à survivre. Hein? Alors on était boucher, quoi d'autre? Smith, en anglais, boulanger, n'est-ce pas? Alors, la famille, on était membre d'une famille qui était impliquée dans un clan, dans le tribu, de cette façon. Et c'était prédit, prescrit. Hein? Et c'était ça la définition de notre vie. Vous me suivez? Hein? Alors, l'individu ne comptait pas. Ce qui était important, c'était le rôle qu'on était capable de jouer dans les tribus. This seems like it doesn't have anything to do with our lives right now, but the foundation of all of the fears that we have in this lifetime are based in this original belief that the individual is only worth something if he or she has a role in their society and in their culture. This is an absolute foundation for everything that we live in our lives. All of the symptoms of our existence stems from this history that we've lived as human beings. Stems from the fact that we could not survive as individuals. We had to become members of a clan. Our families had particular roles within the clan or tribe, and the individual had to sublimate himself or herself in order to be accepted by the clan or tribe. Okay? All of this is based in our need to be good members of the tribe, of the family, of the clan, is based in fear. The fear of not being able to survive otherwise. Non? Alors, j'ai la difficulté à dire suffisamment fortement comment toute l'existence est basée sur cette peur. Cette peur de ne pas être capable de survivre si on n'est pas accepté, si on n'est pas une partie de cette identité du clan. All right? All of our existence is based in this fear of potentially not being acceptable members of the family, the clan, the tribe. If we are not acceptable, then we will be rejected and we will die. Ça peut sembler très, très extrême. Mais toutes les craintes que nous avons envers l'expression de notre propre vérité viennent de là. Toutes les craintes que nous avons de dire ce qu'on pense, d'élever ses enfants comme on veut, de s'habiller comme on veut au lieu de comment tout le monde s'habille. Hein? De manger même différemment, d'aller chez maman pour le temps des fêtes ou pas. Tout ça vraiment, si vous regardez votre vie, vous allez voir à quel point tout ce que nous vivons, toute notre existence, peut être tracé jusqu'à là. On top of it, when we are born, we are completely dependent on our mothers, right? Nous sommes complètement dépendants sur maman. Nous avons besoin d'être aimés par maman. We have to be loved by this woman. We have to be loved by mother. And so we learn that in order to be loved by mommy, we have to be a certain way. We learn because very few mothers, until recently, really believed that children were perfect the way they came out. That's an understatement, right? People believed that children were a lump of clay that needed to be molded in a certain way in order to conform to society. Right? In order to be good, acceptable members of society. And we hear this all the time. So, and mothers also derive their own value from how well behaved their children are. What great members of society their children are. And so if your child is acting up, if your child refuses to do what society says they should do, then you're a bad mother, right? And so, when this baby comes out of a mother's body and she's got it in her hands, what she wants for that child is a very complex, it's very complex. Most of us, and most of our ancestors in particular, really wanted that child to grow up and do us proud. Huh? Make the family proud. Make your mommy and daddy proud. Make your ancestors proud. Huh? Boy, oh boy. And so, right away, the baby has to sleep properly, right? Has to eat properly, has to get out of diapers at the right time. There's so much pressure on mothers. Il y a autant de pression sur des mères de créer un bon membre de la société et de la famille. Et même quand on est mère, on peut attendre toutes sortes de critiques et de commentaires de n'importe qui dans la rue. You know, you could be walking with your kids down the street and everybody thinks that they've got the right to tell you what you're doing right and wrong with your kids. Because those kids don't fully belong to you. They belong to the tribe. understand. They belong to society. Et surtout quand on a des enfants, des jeunes enfants, on se rend compte, on est conscient à quel point c'est vrai que les enfants, on attend qu'ils soient conformes. The societal belief is that we're in the business of popping out little sheep, you know? And you are judged as a parent or guardian or whatever, you are judged by your capacity to create good fluffy little sheep, you know? Who will obey in school. And if they don't obey in school, well, let's give them Ritalin or something, you know? If they can't sit down in school and listen and obey and not fight with, you know, the other kids in the class, then you're not doing your job. You're not a good parent. So, quand nous quittons le corps de nos mères, nous sommes tout de suite devant un besoin d'être conforme. Right? So we learn right away that in order to be loved, in order to be acceptable, we have to behave in a certain way. In order for our bodies to survive, because we're dependent on our mothers for our lives. In order for us to survive, we have to twist who we really are. Another way of saying that is, in order for the physical body to survive, we have to betray our souls. Pour notre survie physique, nous trahissons l'âme. And that starts, that teaches us the separation between the body and the spirit. It teaches us that we're never good enough. It teaches us that who we really are needs to be transformed and needs to be hidden to be acceptable, so that we can survive. And we carry that belief with us the rest of our lives. Nous portons cette croyance profonde à l'intérieur de nous, le restant de nos jours. Ça, c'est la fondation de tout le reste que nous avons fait. Inside every one of us is the deep belief, the certainty that who we are is not lovable, that who we are is not acceptable, and that we have to transform ourselves in some way in order to be loved. Ça, c'est la blessure le plus profond qui existe à l'intérieur de chacune de nous. Tels que nous sommes, nous ne sommes pas aimables, nous ne sommes pas acceptables. And then we project that belief onto the whole rest of the world. So we believe that the entire world is perfection that I believe it is. Huh? We don't look around us and see perfection. We look around us and see imperfection, nothing but imperfection. Huh? And this is the foundation of that belief of, beam me up, Scotty, get me out of here. This is awful here. Right? C'est vraiment la fondation. Also, what this sets up is a love-hate relationship with our mothers and with our bodies. Il y a vraiment une relation avec maman et avec le corps physique, qui est une relation de haine-amour. Nous avons besoin de ce corps, mais maudit, tout ce que j'ai besoin de faire pour le faire vivre. Hein? Et la même chose avec maman. Et pour ça, c'est classique et c'est connu que notre société est complètement misogyne. Et nous, des produits de cette société, sont misogynes. We basically do not like women and mothers. And this is a very big problem for women and mothers. Huh? Our society, because of all of this history, our society has become misogynist. We do not like, societally, culturally, we do not like women. And we do not like mothers. This is something that, you know, if you say this out in the world, people go, no, that's not true. I love my mother. Right? My mother was a saint. I hear that very often. Okay? I hear that very often. My mother was a saint. But again, it always indicates a split. You know, my mother was a saint. It almost always means my mother did not take time for herself. My mother did not honor her own body. Right? My mother was tolerant and giving and all of those things that we learn that are the positive aspects of spirit and the masculine energy. That's what it means when we say my mom was a saint. Okay? She manifested all of those wonderful attributes that we attach to the masculine energy. This is not something to eat. See? Yeah. Would you be able to take her into Ron's room? Close the door. Go, Maggie. Call her.
Comex!
Oh, Maggie May.
She agrees.
Yeah. Thank you. Does anybody want to say anything? Does anybody disagree or est-ce que vous avez des questions ou des choses à disputer?